The next question, the member for Orléans.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. Ma question est pour la procureure générale. Speaker, yesterday, Legal Aid Ontario announced that they're no longer accepting new immigration and refugee clients as of today. They made this decision as a result of this government's cuts to legal aid due to the government slashing 30% of the legal aid budget starting in 2021. You know, Mr. Speaker, it is not in the interest of Ontario to have people without status in our economy and unable to represent themselves. This may be the first casualty of these government's cuts to legal aid, but it will not be the last. So, Speaker, why does this government believe that providing legal protections to our most vulnerable is not something that matters most to Ontarians?
Questions to the Attorney General.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Legal aid provides vital services for lower-income Ontarians as well as to new Canadians. And that's why our government is continuing to fund all provincial legal aid services to immigrants and to refugees within our provincial courts. And that is exactly why, because we care, that I have called on the federal government to fund legal aid services for people with cases before Federal Immigration and Refugee Board and people with cases in the federal court. Mr. Speaker, I've called on the federal government. I wrote a letter to the federal government and did not receive a response. Mr. Speaker, the Auditor General made it very clear last year in her report that the lack of federal funding was putting the sustainability of legal aid at risk. These are warning signs that have been sent to the federal government, and the federal government has failed to own up to its responsibilities. And so I ask the member opposite to ask her federal counterparts to answer our letters and work with us.
Stop the clock. I say to the government members, I had to stand up and interrupt the Attorney General who was trying to answer the question because of the audible heckling from the government side. Opposition will come to order. Start the clock. Supplementary.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As I said, I don't think it's in any interest of Ontarians the way you're responding. You do have a responsibility as a government. But my question, furthermore, Mr. Speaker, will be this government's reckless cuts to those most vulnerable actually extends to victims of crime. Thursday's budget not only slashes Ontario's legal aid budget by 30%, but it cuts funding to support those who are victims of crimes. Buried in the budget bill is a repeal of the Compensation for Victims of Crime Act. Along with this, the government will be capping the compensation for pain and suffering for those who have been victims of violent crimes, such as sexual assault, at $5,000. Speaker, and Mr. Speaker, I ask the Attorney General, how is cutting compensation for victims of crime protecting what matters most?
The Attorney General.
Well, Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to correct the member opposite. First of all, right now in this province, victims of crime who need compensation need to hire a lawyer, and oftentimes they have to wait up to 3 years to get their compensation award. In 2007, the Ombudsman identified the 3-year wait times for compensation for victims of crime at the Criminal Injury Compensation Board, and the previous government failed to take action to provide immediate relief for victims of crime. Mr. Speaker, we are increasing the overall compensation award from $25,000 to $30,000, and Ontario is still one of only 3 provinces in this country that awards pain and suffering. We are trying to make sure that victims of crime get the compensation they need faster and without having to hire a lawyer. They don't have the time to wait for this compensation, Mr. Speaker.
Stop the clock.